Today we revisit not just the passing of a legend, but the final chapter of a love story that spanned 71 years, a story far more complex and far more human than the glamorous frames we saw on screen. Dharmendra, the He-Man of Bollywood, passed away at the age of 89. But what is now moving many is where he spent his last days. And with whom? Not with Hema Malini, the dream girl, his second wife, with the woman who had been by his side since 1954, Prakash Kaur. Dharmendra had been discharged from Breach Candy Hospital just days ago, frail but calm. Before this, after decades in the spotlight, his son revealed he chose to return to a home away from the cameras. A home where his first wife, Prakash Kaur, still lived. A home where they had raised 4 children, Sunny, Bobby, Vijeta and Ajita. A home built long before fame came knocking. And it was there, at their Khandala farmhouse, that Dharmendra spent the last stretch of his life, surrounded not by noise, but by the quiet presence of the woman he married when he was just 19. They had celebrated 71 years of marriage in June 2025, a lifetime together, a lifetime of silence, sacrifice, and unspoken understanding. Dharmendra and Hema Malini, Bollywood's golden couple, were inseparable on screen. Their chemistry was iconic, but their personal lives took a different path. It is no secret that Hema Malini and Dharmendra lived separately for years. She herself said no husband and wife like to live separately, but sometimes circumstances are such that one has to accept it. She raised her daughters Isha and Ahana with dignity, acknowledging that Dharmendra was always there in a way a father should be. She also spoke respectfully of Dharmendra's first wife, Prakash Kaur. In her biography, she said she never wanted to trouble anyone, that she was grateful for the life Dharamji gave her and her children, and that she held Prakash in high regard. The two women crossed paths only briefly at social events decades ago. After that, their worlds stayed separate, bound by circumstances, yet connected by the same man. Prakash Kaur, the woman the public rarely saw, but the woman who weathered every storm, had once defended Dharmendra when the world judged him. After Dharmendra married Hema Malini, in an interview, Dharmendra's first wife Prakash said, "He's the first love and the last man in my life. However far he may be from me, if I need him, I know he will be there." Words of loyalty from a woman who chose dignity over drama. She criticized the film industry for calling him a womanizer, reminding people that extramarital relationships were not uncommon in Bollywood. And she said something brutally honest. She said, "Any man would have preferred Hema over me." It was a statement not of bitterness but of acceptance, the acceptance that defined her entire life. And so, when Dharmendra returned home one final time, it was to her, to the woman who built his first home, who raised his first children, who stood by him even when the world changed around them. The man who had lived many lives, superstar, romantic hero, husband twice over, chose to spend his last days with the woman who had known him long before he was Dharmendra, when he was simply Dharam Singh Dev. As India mourns a legend, we are reminded that behind fame lies a beating human heart with all its complications, contradictions, and unfinished stories. Dharmendra leaves behind not just films, not just characters, but a legacy of love in all its imperfect, layered, and deeply emotional forms. He lived large, he loved deeply, and in the end, he returned to where his story began.